Hey guys, good morning. Ooh, it's a little chilly out. I can feel it through the window. I got one of the windows cracked a little bit from my plant. And I guess I caught myself trying to give my plant some air because I don't know what she's doing, but I need to figure it out. Look at my plant. I don't know. I need to take off these brown ends. It's a where's the little thing at? Here it is. It's a tropical plant care. So I just go on Google and try to see how I'm supposed to take care of this thing. I've never actually had a plant before, so I'm hoping I'm not killing it. I'm confused as to if I'm overwatering it or if I'm underwatering it. I thought I read that if the leaves turn brown and they're dry, like this one, then it's underwatered. But if it's which is so weird that this would be considered underwater. Yeah, here's another brown one. So I'm gonna go through. I'm thinking maybe I need to put it in a different pot. I think that's what I should do, or that's what I probably need to do, is take off all these brown pieces, cut off the ends, and repot it. I just have to figure out when I'm going to do that. Like, I watered this a few days ago. I think it's been about 3 or 4 days, and the soil is still wet, so I'm thinking I overwatered it. Hey y'all, it's morning. Welcome back. It's the next day, like literally. And I'm trying to get me some coffee together. I done took my shower and everything. I caught myself trying to wake Olivia up thinking she was late for school, and girl, they on Christmas break. I totally forgot all about it. I guess in my mind I'm feeling like, well, dang, what they need a Christmas break for if they already at home? But I get it, they trying to stay on regular schedule. But today they want us to decide if we want our kids to do in-person learning. I know we've been through this before, but they're back at it again, trying to decide this for January. So they're giving us until today, basically, to decide whether we're going to let our kid stay home and do virtual learning, go back to in-person learning, or do virtual academy, which is basically there's a platform or something like a little online academy where the kids can go in, get all of their assignments for the day, and it's basically independent learning, like 100% independent learning. So I still don't feel comfortable with Olivia going to school. Now, in my scenario, she doesn't have to go back to school because I'm at home anyways. I think it's going to vary, of course, by the household. For my household, like if I had to leave the house to go to work, then I would consider more of her going to in-person school. And, because sometimes we have to just go with the cards that we were dealt, right? So some people don't have a choice but to send their kids back to school regardless of how comfortable they are with it or not. For me, I'm in a position where I'm already at home. I work from home. So and she's in the 5th grade, so she's not a smaller child. You know, I don't have to literally sit with her the whole time like you would if she was in kindergarten or something like that. I don't have to sit with her the whole time while she's in school. I'm able to still work. So for me, for my situation, I think it's better if she just stays where she's at, if she does the virtual learning, because the idea that they're putting out there is that they're going to do it in 3 phases. So they're going to have certain grades go back in January, which she would be one of those grades. Then another set of grades going back towards the end of January. And then high schoolers, I think 11th and 12th grade, they go back sometime in February. But me, the way that I think, I'm like, okay, well, they go back in January, then there's a break somewhere in there where they're not going to have to go to school, or maybe there's a teacher learning day, and then March comes, and then they have spring break, and then I think there's one more break after that, and then they are out for the summer. So it sucks that she has to spend her whole 5th grade year at the house, but I would rather her be at the house than me have her go to school and expose her to possibly, you know, catching this virus, because she's been in the house the whole time. Like the day before yesterday, I had to run to the store to get a Coke, like across the street, and she didn't even want to go across the street. Like I had to literally force her to get some fresh air and walk across the street with me. You know, of course she was protected and everything, but that's how long she's been in the house. Like she doesn't even want to go anywhere. And so I was asking her about it, because she was kind of telling me that she wants to kind of go back, but then when I kind of explained to her how it was going to go, a lot of kids, I was telling her, a lot of kids are not going to go back to school. Their parents are not going to be comfortable with it. And then another thing that she had mentioned too that I didn't even think about, well, if we decided to allow the kids to go back to in-person learning, how are they going to get there? Because I don't even recall transportation even being mentioned in like the town hall or any of the newsletters or things like that, because she's a bus rider. So when I was talking to her about, you know, the pros and cons of going to in-person school, because one thing about me is I tell Olivia straightforward what it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether she likes what I'm saying or not, I keep it 100 with her at all times. So I did lay out the pros and the cons to her going to in-person schooling. And ultimately, even though I'm the parent, I'm going to make the last decision, I did allow her to have an input and speak how she felt about it. So after we had a discussion about it, you know, we were kind of, I wasn't convincing her either or. You know, it was a neutral conversation. I would just put the information out there as far as what we're up against if she does go to in-person learning. And after talking, she ultimately just said it's not that serious. She wants to go back, but she don't want to go back that bad. She don't want to go back bad enough to where she could risk, you know, possibly getting infected or getting this virus from maybe one of the other kids whose symptoms are slowly appearing and stuff like that. So that's what the decision is going to be. We have to fill out what they're calling a declaration of intent. Again, we've been through this cycle before. For Christmas and stuff, they were thinking about bringing the kids back before, what was it, back in September, November, something like that. But she ended up just doing the virtual. No, what happened was not enough parents wanted their kids to go back, so they just did away with it altogether. That's what ended up happening initially. So we're at round 2. They're trying it again, trying to get these kids back in school, but yeah, I still don't feel comfortable with it. It is later in the day. Girl, when I say I am exhausted. I am exhausted, like for real. And I'm always like this. Whenever I get a call volume or a call flow where I have to do a whole lot of talking, girl, I be tired at the end of the shift. Like for real, because I'm already a person that doesn't talk a lot. So when I have to have a conversation with somebody and it's a long conversation, girl, I be feeling like I need a nap. Like for real. I don't know if anyone else experienced this, but it never fails, girl. I could be talking to you in person and we could talk about something, whatever the topic is, and by the time we done with that conversation, girl, I start yawning. And it's not because I'm bored with what you saying or anything like that, girl. I'm just mentally exhausted, okay? Because when I have to have a full-fledged conversation with somebody, I don't know why that takes so much out of me mentally, but it does. Which is why I don't talk on the phone. I don't talk on the phone. My parents, they hate it. They cannot stand the fact that I am not a phone person, because that means I don't call them as often, even though they live right here in the same city. And they get on me about that all the time. But the truth is, y'all, I'm just not because I service calls from home, I'm just not a phone person, okay? I'm really not. Like, I'm just not a phone person. Of course, I will talk on the phone. I'm not above talking on the phone, but I'm just not a phone person, girl. Like, I'm just not. Okay, so I'm in the store, and on a previous video, I had someone make a request that I stop at the salsa section and the non-refrigerated juices. So I'm gonna turn y'all around and just kind of look at the salsas. Alright, so they didn't have now one rib in here. You know what? I'm lying. They had beef ribs. A slab of beef ribs for $65. Chanina don't do beef ribs. I like pork ribs, so we're going to pass on that, because I sure ain't finna pay $65 for it. You can cancel that, my friend. So, other than that, that's the only reason I came in here. But since I'm in here, let me head over to the non-refrigerated juices. That was also another request. Alright, so these are the non-refrigerated juices. I think that's what they were talking about, the juice boxes. Mr. Ortiz, let me know if I hit the right aisle for you. But these are it. Got Honest, Capri Suns, Kool-Aid Jammers, Yahoo at the top. Ooh, I know they had these. $1.49. Alright. So yep, Mr. Ortiz, these are all the non-refrigerated juices. Just in case, I think you said box juice, but just in case, I'm gonna take you down to the other aisle. But first, before we head over there, gotta go down the clearance section, y'all. Just got to see what's over here. I ain't doing no shopping today. I know I was gonna do a meat stock up, but from what I could see, there ain't no meats marked down cheap enough that I would consider stock up prices. So we're gonna leave that here today. Here's the clearance section. Ooh, what's this? Dark chocolate. What are these, cookies? Oh, they 79 cents. What are these? Oh, waffle cookies. Well, we're not gonna get that. They got a bunch of them though, 79 cents. We got some pumpkin spice coffee. I saw these last time, but I'm not getting that. I'm not a big fan of pumpkin spice. Candlelit. These are 50 cents. Alright, y'all, let's keep going. There's nothing. I only came in here for the ribs. Alright, so this is our soda and juice aisle. So I'm just gonna do a quick walkthrough. Hope you can catch everything.